بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So the second type of the second category of the knowledge of sarf, meaning morphology, the transformation of words, meaning nouns and verbs, is the structures or patterns of nouns and verbs المجردة والمزيدة, meaning the bare or the non-increased words and the increased words. So those words who have no extra letter from its fundamental letters, or those who have had their words added to with one or more letters. So the author says, في هذا القسم حصر. In this category is a حصر, and حصر meaning constrained or something limited, and it can also mean a kind of definition, so you're limiting something, which means that you're defining something. It is not infinite, it is definite, so this is basically it contains the definite list of the patterns of the nouns and verbs. The non-added to and the added to verbs. So وهو قاعدة الصرف, and it is the fundamental topic of morphology that you must memorize before you go deeper in it. So تعمق means going deep into something, like عمق is depth, and بحر عميق, for example, is a deep sea. So the author says فالفعل والاسم, so the verb and the noun, من حيث التجرد والزيادة, from the aspect of its addition, if any letters have been added to it or not, ينقسمان, are categorized into non-added and added to. فالمجرد, as I said, it means really bare, or something which everything intrinsic has been removed. هو ما كانت كل حروفه أصلية. It is what, let's see here. It is that which every one of its letters are fundamental. And كانت is really just a helping word here. So the fundamental letters, meaning the letters stemming from the root of the word. So like if you have for example صاد با را صبر, meaning patience, and then you have the word صابر, one who has صبر. Then these are the fundamental letters, and the fundamental letters are also present in the word, with one exception, or really, where one of the letters are an exception in that it is added. So a word which has one or more added letters, like this one, is a mazid, and if it doesn't have any added letters, it is a mujarrad. والمزيد هو ما كان فيه حرف زائد أو أكثر. So المزيد, the added to or the increased, it is what has in it a added letter, one or more. وفي هذا القسم بابان, and this category has two subcategories really, or topics. The first topic is the structures or patterns of the verb. The second topic is the nouns. So let's go through them inshallah. الباب الأول, the first topic is the verbs and their patterns. So للفعل, meaning belonging to the verb are, is 19 تسعة عشر بناء, 19 different patterns. 4 belong to the bare or let's say intrinsic verb without any added letters, and 15 خمسة عشر belong to the verb that is increased with one or more added letters. وتفصيل ذلك, and if we go into details, let's say, we can say that the verb, when it comes to addition, or let's say, it's not a very good word, but intrinsicness, are of two types. The first type is the non-added verb, the intrinsic verb. And it is two categories. Now, listen up. So, the first one is المجرد الثلاثي. It is the three-lettered word, which has only, obviously, three letters, because it's a mujarrad. And the second one is المجرد الرباعي, the four-letter verb. Okay. So وله ثلاثة أبنية. This is the three-letter word verb, and it has three patterns. فعل, فاعل, and فعل. So really what the author does here is to say that, let's see here. So we have the مجرد, الفعل المجرد here. So الباب الأول is the verbs. So we have the verbs here. Verbs. And then you have the nouns. Here is the beginning of the chapter, verbs and nouns. So the verbs are الفعل حيث جر نوعان, two types. ثلاثي, three-lettered verb, and four-letter verb. And the three-letter verb here has three patterns. Here we go. So this will go deeper. So فعل, and the next one is also فاعل and فاعل. Okay, so all of them are spelled the same, and this one same. So we have فعل, فاعل, and فاعل. So فعل وهو الأكثر. So these are all past tense verbs with three fundamental letters. So three-lettered past tense verbs. And فعل, this one is the most common one. So there are more verbs having the form فعل than the two others, right? وله ثلاثة مضارعات. المضارعات is present tense patterns. So this one has 3 present tense forms. So these are the type of words. These are the type, number of letters. Excuse my handwriting. Letters. And here we have the past tense. And here we have the present tense. So فعل has 3. فعل يفعل and فعل يفعل and فعل يفعل. So I hope you will kinda see why I think that for a student, focusing on real Islamic knowledge, then these kinds of things have relatively little importance. Practically, you will have little practical value out of memorizing these. So let's just run through them. So these are the dhamma, and then the kasra, then fatha. So فعل يفعل وهو الأكثر. This one is the most common one. مثل like or نحو نصر ينصر, to give someone support or victory, or support towards victory. فعل يفعل, this one, وهو كثير. It is, common. Not the most common, but it is common. ضرب يضرب. So that is to hit someone. He is hitting. فعل يفعل, this one. وهو قليل. It is uncommon. نحو ذهب يذهب, to go. And then we have فاعل here. وله مضارعان, and it has 2. So let's take them here. And it's also same word, it's only different حركات. And فعل يفعل, first one is with فتحة. فرح يفرح, وهو الأغلب, it is the majority. فعل يفعل, وهو قليل, and it is uncommon. نحو حسب يحسب, and I believe there is also a variant where you can say يحسب. So يحسب, يفعل. So this one is so uncommon that it even has a more common alternative. And then you have فعل, this one. And it has only one present tense. له مضارع واحد وهو فعل يفعل. نحو كرم يكرم. And it is يفعل. And one benefit, one faida of this one, because it's very uncommon. I didn't say that. It is uncommon, and it is, I've only ever seen this pattern used in non-transitive verbs. So like a verb that is connected to yourself only. So karuma, for example, he was noble. And hasuna, it was good. So it's not like he hit someone. No, these verbs generally have no effect on others, indirectly. So that's one thing. So حسن يحسن, and so on and so forth. القسم الثاني من المجرد الرباعي. So now we're up here again with the four-letter word. Okay. وله بناء واحد وهو فعل. So one past tense. فعل. And now I don't know if this is an inconsistency, but the present tense is not mentioned. So مثل or نحو, meaning like, or towards, really. دحرج وزلزل. So دحرج means to roll something, and زلزل means to shake something violently. Also an earthquake. والنوع الثاني من الفعل الفعل المزيد. And the other one, النوع oh yeah, actually there is even one more here. So there's even another subcategory here. I missed that. So here we have المجرد والمزيد. So this is the مجرد, meaning the non-added, and you have the mazid, meaning the added to, the increased verb. So وهو خمسة أقسام. So it is 5 different categories. The verb with a letter, one or more, added to it. The first category, let's go through the categories first. So the first one is الثلاثي المزيد بحرف. So it's a 3-letter word having been increased with 1 letter. Then we have a 3-letter verb or word being increased with 2 letters, meaning 5, a total of 5. والقسم الثالث الثلاثي المزيد ب3 أحرف. The 3-letter verb increased with 3 letters. And then we have the fourth, the 4-letter verb increased with 1 letter. And then we have one last, the last 5th and last category is the 4-letter verb increased with 2 letters. So how should we plot this? Actually, I will just, this one, al-mazid, it doesn't fit here. Absolutely not. So I will just go here. Here we go. 5. I think 5 fits here. Let's just do it here. So we have the al-mazid. And you have, basically, you have 5 categories, right? So if we just look at the number of fundamental letters, there are 3 such categories with 3. And then you have 2 with 4. Okay, so 3. And then 4. How many fundamental letters? Oh, let me just... Here we go. So 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay. So the first one is, how many have you added? 1 added letter. So there is 5 patterns for this where you have 3 fundamental letters and 1 added letter. Right? So the 5 are in fa'ala. This is Hamzat al-Wasl, like inkasara, infa'ala. Then you have افتعل, like اعتذر. Then you have تفاعل, like تعالم. And by the way, I should note or just highlight the added letter here. So infa'ala is in. That is one letter. This Hamzat al-Wasl doesn't count as it's only because this letter has a sukoon. And if you said wa, wanfa'ala, this Hamzat al-Wasl wouldn't even be written out. So it's not counted as a letter per se. So infa'ala, ifta'ala, this is the ta, that is mazid. And here, wait. No, actually I'm wrong. Astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah. So the Hamzat al-Wasl, let me just erase this. So here you have infa'ala, here you have the Hamzat al-Wasl and the noon. So this is harfain, 2 letters. Forget what I said. And here you have Hamzat al-Wasl and the ta, 2 letters. So infa'ala and ifta'ala. And then you have the ta and the alif, tafa'ala, like ta'alama. And here we have tafa'ala. And here we have the ta and the duplication or the repetition of the ayn, like ta'allama. So it's ta and lam. If'alla, Hamzat al-Wasl and the lam, like ihmarra. And this means inkasara, it broke, or it like cracked into pieces. I'tadara, he excused himself, or he was excused as well. Ta'alama, he pretended to know. Ta'allama, he learnt. Ihmarra, it became red, or he became red. Then you have the, so this was the 2-letter increase to a 3-letter word. And then you have the 3, exactly this one. So you have the 3-letter increase to a 3-letter word. So القسم الثالث الثلاثي المزيد بثلاثة أحرف. Exactly. So وله أربعة أبنية, and there is 4 patterns to this, and that is استفعل, 3 letters, like استغفر. And when you have it always, and most commonly means that you are requesting something. استغفر, غفران, like forgiveness, you request forgiveness. Then you have if'au ala, the waw and the ayn. Here we have ikhshawshana, and then we have if'ala, like ihmarra. Allah alam what this means. But it is the Hamzat al-Wasl, the alif, and the second lam. And then you have if'awwala. And these kinds of words, they're very uncommon. This Hamzat al-Wasl and 2 waws. i'lawwata. Allah alam. والقسم الرابع, and exactly. So these were ثلاثة and ثلاثة, okay. And then we have the 4th, and is the 4-letter verb added to with 1 letter. Here we go. بحرف, and it is 1 pattern only. So it is تفعلل. So it is the fa, ayn, lam, and lam form a 4-letter verb, like زلزلة, added with one ta. So it becomes tazalzala. And then you have the four-letter verb that is added to with two letters. And it has two patterns, and we have if'anlala, like ihranjama, and it is the hamzat al-wasl and the noon that are added, and then we have if'alalla, and that is the hamzat al-wasl and the lam. So itma'anna, this one is actually common, alhamdulillah. So those are the different patterns for verbs. Okay. Now we have the second topic of the of the current category, and this topic is about the nouns. So it will go into the nouns, and with regards to them being bare or intrinsic or whatever, yeah, like bare minimum, only the fundamental letters, or the added to patterns. So let's see here. للاسم المجرد 19 بناء. So you have the مجرد, and let's see here. So الاسم, let's try to write this down. The noun has obviously مجرد and مزيد. So المجرد has 19 patterns, and عشرة أبنية للثلاثي، 5 أبنية للرباعي، and 4 أبنية للخماسي. So you have 3-letter, 4-letter, and 5-letter patterns, right? وأما الاسم المزيد فأبنيته كثيرة جدا. So المزيد has many ... like that. وتفصيل ذلك, and it's detailing or going to details, is that the noun has 2 types. First one is let's see, ism the first type is al-ism al-mujarrad. Here it is. And all right, so we should actually not plot this out with regards to the number of letters. So here we have 2 types, mujarrad and mazid. So al-ism al-mujarrad is this one. It has 3 categories, and the first one is al-mujarrad al-thulathi, and it's actually the الرباعي and الخماسي. Okay. And الثاني من الاسم. So there isn't actually much to plot out here. So it's 3, 4, 5, and it's actually what I said here. So it's many types. So the 3-letter non-added verb has 10 patterns, and they are فعل, like سهل, meaning easy. فعل, like حسن, meaning good. فعل, like عضد, let's skip this. فاعل, like كتف, meaning shoulder. فعل, like حلو, meaning sweet. فعال, like عمر, but it's the same pattern because the last حركة is defined by إعراب, not صرف. فعل, like عنق, meaning neck or collar. فعل, like حمل, meaning load, something you are burdened with. فعال, like عنب, meaning grape. فعل, like إبل, camel. And the second is the four-letter word. ولو خمسة أبنية. And you have 5 patterns for this. فعلل, like جعفر. فعلل, like برقع. فعلل, like زبرج. فعلل, like درهم. فعل, like هزبر. And then you have the 5-letter word, and it has 4 patterns. So فعلل فرزدق. فعلل, like جحمرش. فعلل, like خزعبل. فعلل, قرطعب. And then you have the second, which is the second type of the noun, which is the mazid, and it has very many patterns. وهو 4 أقسام, and it is 4 categories. المزيد بحرف. Oh yeah, exactly. So you had actually 4 here. So how many added letters are there? So المزيد بحرف, the one that is added, that one letter has been added to, like كاتب, زلزال, عندليب. And then you have those words to which 2 letters have been added, like مكتوب, متزلزل. And then you have those who have 3 letters added, like مستكتب, like اطمئنان, and that is these. Exactly. Because it's طمأنة. Exactly. And those who have 4 added letters, like استكتاب. So it's كتاب, استكتاب. And to summarize, ظهر مما سبق أن, and it has become apparent from what has preceded that, and then you have 4 insights. أقل الفعل المجرد, الفعل المجرد, the verb without any added letters, has no less than 3 letters. وأكثره 4 أحرف, and at its most it has 4 letters. So there are no 5-letter verbs or 2-letter verbs in Arabic. أقل الفعل المزيد, so the added to verb, which it is no less than 4 letters, and it is no more than 6 letters. And the noun, which has not been added to, is not less than 3 letters, same as the verb, but it has another maximum of 5 letters, and meaning the fundamental letters, not in total, because all of them are obviously fundamental because it's mujarrad. And الاسم المزيد, the noun to which letters have been added, they are no less than 4, meaning 1 added and 3 fundamental letters, and they are at most 7 letters. And that is the end of this chapter. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.